second degree.
Second degree.
Okay, let's follow it. anything much? One more.
So we can do that?
Yeah.
Can we do the Xinjia Wisdom Gohring one?
Sure. Not sure. I'm trying to remember it.
I remember it coming up a little bit and coming
Oh,
down,
up.
forward, and gripping and
Touch the
going,
fingers,
yeah,
down,
out,
out, grab,
and release. And I think that was it. Yeah.
last one.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And you remembered some of the other cool Qigongs.
That was in the second list, I remember that.
That one was the,
I like that one.
that's it called the
Wisdom
the brain,
Gohring.
the wisdom, yeah, the wisdom Qi, like you're putting wisdom into your brain.
I just like this, the whole
The whole
the whole
set.
package, I
Yeah,
like
the
that
whole
one.
set, no, the whole thing's good. Let's jump into it then today, because then we can get more correction in. You led it last time, right? So let's go with Ms. Burns this time for the Lao Jia, I mean the Erlu. And I'll take a look, see at everything, and see how we can help the subclip and also do correction for, keep making it better and better. Again. excellent job leading it. Also, Mr. Haley, Ms. Burns, I can see you're getting the corrections. So that's good to see. Looks like you're feeling it too.
It's,
Yeah. And then Ms. Sutcliffe, good job keeping up. You don't know much that form, and you're just like right there with it. And a lot of times students just, and I might be that same student, but not when I was at that stage. I was just like, but now that I think about it, I wouldn't do that as a black sash. I wouldn't dare. I would just stick with it and stick with it. And
I was like, I know it'll click back in. Usually it's just like, damn, I wish I had eyes in the back of my head.
yeah. Well, soon enough. That bids for those mirrors, I'm gonna tell you what. Like, I got 2 bids, but they're exactly the same, 6,500. I had a 3rd bid. They were supposed to come by today. They never came by.
I did figure something out from the small shelf I had to study a little bit was when you're doing this. When I was, because I'm watching everybody from the side, I kept thinking it was a progressive up, but I was watching it was like 2 and then.
Yep, it's 2, 1, it's 1, 2, and then wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
But it is a progressive kind of increase in power.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found a section that we can work on that will benefit you for sequence, because it is the hardest part that I've gone over the most times.
Should I go over there?
Wherever you want to go.
Okay.
But for us, it'll be like, let's make it better, okay? And of course, it's going to be after this guy here. When you've done the snake, the dragon on the ground, and you went here. It's this whole section here. But this time, you'll get to learn the hand positions, but like the corrections aren't about the hand positions. It's about the flow of the whole thing. So some of the corrections that we've gone over in the front part of the form that you all have embodied, like using your waist, on the moves and not like feeling like you're doing that, like getting the hip turn and using the motion in the hips to do things. They're happening for those moves that we've worked on and looked at the same time. Now we're in this part. They are things I've mentioned, either on the video or when I was by myself or when I was in class, but now we can just kind of look at it and try to embody the whole Chen frame for those moves, so that we're not doing the Kung Fu frame for them, right? Because you both did the Kung Fu, so it's like, even that Kung Fu, it's not exactly like, so it's like the Kung Fu looks bad.
No, I definitely felt like the...
That stuff. I was like, okay, let's look at
That would
it.
give me an advantage because I wouldn't have that.
You wouldn't have it, you're right. You will have an advantage in that respect. So just kind of taking it easy, the first thing I'm looking at, again, I would normally focus on the hands because everyone's like lost on which foot, which hand, when does it turn over and all that. I'm talking about the way the whole body moves. So we have our first one, and then we have a step back, and we have a scooping. So where's the foot coming in with that? So we have to have that right foot coming in. And then, I'm going so slow. I'm like, just like, okay. Anyways, then we have it coming out, right? But then now we have to have it come in. But all that coming in is the foot picking up and the waist turning. So it's like I get to sit on my high stool each time. And so what I'm seeing a little bit is that the legs are staying straight, like they're staying really, let me get on camera better. They're staying kind of straight, where the body's dipping, and the legs are just. So you're getting the timing of it all, but we want to have that. So I have that. Where I'm getting to. Do you understand? Because then you just reproduce it on the other side. Once you switch, and you come in here, it's like keeping it a little bit low, and also don't catch your heel on the floor. That's not going to work, but where we get to have some back and forth motion on it. Yes, let's try it together once. Sure. And then let's use, but kind of really slow pace. Yeah, I'm not trying to like perform it, but just kind of walk through it. So we're here, we do the monkey hop, palm strike, and there I am in a big stance, and I scoop in. Then I circle out, 1, 2. Then scoop in, and then scoop in. and then switch. And then scoop out. And then scoop. So part of it will be this. When I adjust the foot here, it's like it's a ball change, and I got a sink, which creates a large sweeping motion, which is capped off by bringing the foot in. Coming forward, coming back. So, in some ways, it really is kind of like the front sweep where we do that little skip and then sweep. We have to have a little release from the ground so that we can do a turn. A little releasing up, releasing up so that we can, yeah, so. Okay, try that section. If you want to fake it a little bit, just click on sequence. It would behoove you to get the sequence down on this part. If you happen to get some of the, yes, that natural kind of settling. Yes, that was right. That was exactly what I was talking about. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll try not to watch. Give it a shot. You do not have to move together. Just kind of mess around with it a little.
So think this is the, we get a trip for, and then block.
Oh, I'm stepping the wrong way. I didn't bring the other foot in, see?
Then you go right foot towards the hole.
Yep.
So on that one,
Yes, sir?
is it a cat when you're in
Yes, cat. Not a cat in the sense of tiger and crane cat
Right,
stance,
right,
but definitely a cat's a reverse bamboo in some ways. Yep, yep. Yep, yep, yes, sir. Pop that foot, that right foot pops and drops. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yes. Yeah, not unfamiliar movement to you, but just to apply it to this part of the routine.
So,
Do you think this room would work? You've taken a lot of classes. Do you think this room would still work? If this whole mat section and everything was pushed to that line there? Or is that too much waiting here?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't think it's good.
stick our finger.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to
Put
carry
up
out weight.
heel.
Oh,
We don't want
I'm
too
trying to
weighty.
catch them.
And then just reset.
Actually, this is all.
That's the reset, that's what
I
I'm
wonder
throwing
if they have
myself
the
into.
reset.
I need to
Top up on the right
something
foot.
to hang my bags on. Let's design that. Yeah. And get everything.
And again.
Hop up on the right foot.
We definitely use
Bum.
these squares, but
Yeah.
Hop on the right
But that would
foot.
kind of also be an
So,
area
you're
that
gonna-
will kind of accumulate.
See, I've got my weight on
Kinda like
that
that.
one, but then full weight on this
Back
one,
area
right?
of the class or behind bags.
Here, here,
I feel like all your.
and here.
Yeah.
And then sort of push a little on the left.
They want to interrupt, right?
Jump on the right.
Walk through class. Can I just get
Like that? Kind of slipping off the left over?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, beginning of the hall and jack.
the bishop and the...
Yeah, and so the more you see, when we are specific about it, I see it on your other parts of the form where you're moving really well from your center. Like what was one of the opening moves? I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh that's good. It was oh yeah, it was this.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, and it was like wow, and you're like, okay, there's that kind of. I feel like the resistance in your legs is kind of one of those, like really like one of those spinning tops, you know, that has that pump. Like you had as a kid. I mean, I remember having a metal one, and it had some sort of metal spring, and you went, but it has that kind of twist and come back up, twist and come back up, twist, or the other side, twist and come back up, twist and come back up. It's like a whole action through your whole frame, as opposed to just coordinating moves. You've heard me lecture that 1,000 times. Oh, your hand moved at the same time your leg moved, but it wasn't like you actually were thinking about it moving. You know, where you kind of feel the Chansijing in it. Because it's just Chansijing, but it's kind of hard to say it's just Chansijing.
More complicated.
Yeah, but it's like, it's Chansijing, but you freed the legs. Because both sides of that are single-handed cloud hands, which is our Chansijing drill. And what if when we did the Chansijing, we had to change our foot position every time? So I feel the wave and the circulation of the Chansijing when I do that move, and I feel that same kind of connected energy in the arm, but my feet get to move. I'm freed. I'm like a tree with really strong roots, but now I can walk around and I still get to keep my strong roots. Yeah, yeah. And then just watch out for the toe lift here. That's really a thing for Kung Fu. No, well the point of the toe lift was to stop students from, this is a correction from crane. So crane unit, taught it for years. Everyone does this on the sweep. They do that. They're like, I'm like, you're gonna break your toe if you ever sweep like that. So it was, you ever heard of my analogy of the swimmer, the swimming coach? And you're supposed to put the hand over the head when you swim. And the coach will say, put your hand over your head, and the person won't do it. And so the coach says, okay, actually, what I meant is that the hand should be over your left. I'm sorry. They're supposed to put the hand over their head, and instead the error is they keep putting it here, thinking it's over their head. So the coach says, well, put it over your left shoulder when you swim. And they still don't do that, but they do this now.
Okay.
So that's what I think about. So when you do crane basics, it should be flat.
Okay.
Okay? But as many times as I've told a student doing that over the years, not black sashes, but told students, they would still point their toe. So I'm like, guys, upon impact, I need my wooden man. Upon impact, oh here we go. Upon impact of flat, if I keep following through, the toe's going to lift up because that's the rest of the sweep, right? But it doesn't lead with the ball of the foot like you're not sweeping, you're hooking with this part of your leg on that sweep. So you need to have that down so you can hook. If it comes around with it up, it's not hooking.
Okay.
Right, so it comes flat, and if it kept going, it would have to hook. And it would hook, because part of it is people feel their leg getting swept, they pull it back. Well, if you've hooked with your foot, when they pull it back, they can't pull it back. And they pull themselves down to the ground, right? Because their reaction is, let me get away. Nope, you're hooked, and their action of getting away takes them out. Yeah, anyways. I haven't had any coffee either. So, hopefully that's helpful. Try once or twice more, and then I'm going to have Ms. Burns lead it again one more time, just so that we end up sneaking up on that section, since the form's so short in duration. So still feel like, sorry for the long lecture, still feel like you're pulling the toe up, but don't actually pull it up. Mr. Haley, I have a much better way of saying it. Still pull it up, but only pull it up a half an inch.
Right.
Right? Because you do want the feeling of pulling it up, because that's where it's heading. If it followed through, that's what would happen. Yeah. All right. So then we'll do that again, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everyone. Follow Ms. Burns again. And our purpose here is to kind of sneak up on that section and see if the correction took. Yeah. Again. much improved. While you take a breath and we transition to fan, I want to bookend the explanation again. So, what I was seeing more of earlier when you did your first demo was not you not using your waist and legs so much, and more just the arms and the turning. So what's the correction to cause you to use your legs more is after I do this, I'll get through one, that actually, if I want to use my legs more, then after I do my monkey hop, I sink, which creates kind of a sweep, a hidden sweep, which creates a longer step, a getaway type stepping. So a longer step. I'm here, see that left? That. So then when I go forward, I have an advancing, and then when I go back, it's low. If I stay stationary, well, that's nothing. You're getting away, so you get away. You're coming forward to sweep, so come forward to sweep. You're getting away, so get away. Again, I'll show you the other. Yeah, this is the rope. Let me make sure I have the correct leg forward and the correct leg back. This is what I wouldn't be correcting Miss Sutcliffe or you guys when you first learned it. Like, let's just figure out, it's the left and the left. It's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Now we got to do the other foot. So it's not that anymore. It's like, oh, that's, yeah. All right. Fan form, I miss it. I gotta lead it. So.
That helps too, though, because it makes me think, well, am I going with that foot that way because I'm doing something with it?
Yes, and
it still helps.
And I did share this when I first taught it, but it's a little much to kick it all in one day. And also, most people are still like, can you see that again? I can't get this switch, and my back was to you for half of it, and all that. So, oh, I feel like I'm gaining some momentum with this place, because it doesn't feel like home to me. I don't know if it feels like home to you yet, but the old location I made really feel like home. I felt like in my element, as it were. Remember, if you're there, you're blocking the camera, so scoot over. Yeah. Also, the thing is, the room will get bigger. Not just because of the mirrors, but because we won't have a camera pointing, and we'll have a little more space against the wall.
Are you going to mount the camera up somewhere, or?
No, but we'll stop using it.
Oh, okay.
That's my point. Is like at some point we
Okay,
won't need to
yeah.
we won't need to. I won't need to tell you. Oh, you're kind of blocking the camera. And I won't have to think about there being a camera. Anyways, I finished this stuff. It's called Cove Base.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now, not in this room. This room's been done because that needs to be removed.
Yes.
And I can't put it in where he might be building stuff. But behind the desk, yeah, behind everything, so everything in the back was done. Now I'm starting to clear the office, and I'm like, oh, it feels like an office. Slowly. Yeah. And then I'm fantasizing about blinds.
Is that where the pole's going to be to go next door?
Yeah, I was going to cut it all out, and then I thought better of it. I thought maybe I should wait, but I started cutting it out. But really that hole was for me to check to see if there was electrical in the way, because I had my black sash. One of my black sashes helped out. Mr. Hester, Cody Hester, remember him? He lives in Houston, so he drove up 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he checked all the outlets here, made sure they were good, and he moved that light switch up onto the wall. Because that'll be the door. You come in, there's a light switch. That's how I like sharing this stuff, you guys.
We like to hear the stories of how it's progressive. Wow.
Well, right now, that's
challenging to get
a little odd, have a light switch over there, but when there's a door here, and you can stand here, then it'd be like, yeah, okay. Oh, now I just thought about it. I think you put the light switch based on that spot instead of that spot. So it'll be a little high for a light switch. Keep the kids from messing with it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I still have memories of those little rubbery things in the sinkhole at the time.
All right. And begin. It's a little fast, but it's okay. You did it? Okay, good. I didn't get to watch it, so, but I wanted to do it once. You want to do the honors? Yeah, we need some practice. We need Ms. Sutcliffe to catch up with some practice, and I need to kind of observe you and also say hi to Ms. Wade. You heard your name. Yeah, you go up.
Can I go in the middle and you still later, or is that?
Yeah, I like this stuff.
Over here?
I think we start from radio.
Right here?
Sorry, that way I've got some on the other side.
No, it's fine. Hi. Begin?
You're like ready for prime time. Like you all together. I kept hearing this, because I was talking to Mr. Fig, I kept hearing this. Like I'd be in a group, I wasn't hearing. You know?
Hit the cue.
Are you going to be able to stay in the class?
Yeah.
You're
but
figuring it out?
I've rearranged my schedule and stuff, so,
Oh, because you like it too much now.
yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm glad they have you back.
Yeah. It's, this year, I had quite a bit of loss, so this class is kind of helping.
Oh, cool.
So,
Did you take, which classes did you take from me growing up in the school? Growing up in the school, yes.
As you, the instructor?
Yeah, well, you can say who the other instructors were, too, but yeah, but for me as the instructor.
There was none where you were the primary instructor for this one.
Oh, okay.
So I took classes under Ms. Grasmore, Mr. Cochran, Mr. Fig, Mr. Hunter, some of Mr. Turvey, some of Mr. Gage.
Oh, okay, cool. And Miss Sutcliffe?
I think I occasionally had somebody that covered for you, but I think I grew up with you as my teacher.
So you took the Tai Chi, like when we were doing commencement, you did commencement with me.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. And I know you because you're in my.
yeah, well, I
Am
started
I-
with Mr. Cassius when he left.
Oh yeah, he took over that class. Yeah.
Mr. Hunter was still,
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He was a kid.
yeah.
So yeah, cool. Yeah, because I took over when Mr. Cassins had to go. I took over the 8:30 classes again, and then you have me. Did Mr. Gage join after you?
No, we kind of went through it together because he was my partner for our first year. So he was there.
Because I remember him. I remember him. I remember, of course, both of y'all. But yeah, you're always in my front row. Yeah, especially like when it's late. It's the last class, and I'm tired, and then I have new students, but I don't know them, and I'm like, is there someone I know here? Okay, good. There's someone I know. I don't have to look at them. I mean, I'll get to know everyone's a new student at one point, and then you get to know your students.
Yeah, I never went to the early classes when I first started. It was
You never went to what?
The early classes when I first
Oh, yeah,
started.
yeah.
Hey, I go to the lunchtime classes a lot when I could fit it in my teaching schedule.
I taught those for a
And then
long time too.
sometimes- Yeah, and then sometimes I couldn't, so, you know,
Cool.
now it's kind of not gonna happen until summertime or something.
Do you want to go, or do you want to do the form one time, or answer a question?
You mean this one again?
We have 5 minutes, but that's 5 minutes until the next class starts. So we have 2.5 minutes to kind of do the form one more time, or to answer a question, or just leave.
Well, perhaps we make a little clarification on the handout before you go end up having to get your left hand. That might be nice.
Oh, on that one move, you mean?
Yeah, when you end up turning around and changing. I
Yeah.
would like to see.
Okay, so you're in the. It's called Golden Rooster, right? So we're in the St. Jude down kind of thing. We come up to Golden Roosters, and we stop, and then see our hands. Yeah. Then it's about our waist and our hips, but really you can't think waist and hips if you're learning it, right? Like I'm teaching it now. You're gonna flip that over, which happens from the waist and hips, but now it doesn't. It comes down and it hits this hand, and then now you're making point to grab the other side, right? Like Mr. Haley showed you last time. So if I let go of it, it would open. Okay, so close it back up, but get ready. Then you got ready here. That's when you pass it off. Whatever side you're grabbing, the other side's now being grabbed. Okay, then you jump and turn, and it opens. Yeah. And you did the same thing Mr. Haley did a long time ago. Is he went to a cat stance?
Yeah.
It's a horse stance.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the next move is a cat stance. And then a crane stance. If you're already in the cat stance, then what's the point of sliding back into the cat stance? You're already in the cat stance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay.
sense, and if the passing off down like this makes sense, yes. 'Cause
Yep.
it cuts down, yeah.
Yeah. And Mr. Hogan will make this into a video of this class later, so if you forgot, you're like, I remember that class.
Yeah, chop that bit out.
I'll fast forward to that spot. All right, we honor the masters who came before us and seek to follow their examples.
Bob, Grand Master Instructor.
Thank you. Got a 3rd degree and 2nd degree, advanced black sash practice. Good job.